Hello, my name is Jay the Eighth Dragon. I'm back today with another D&D ranting video. I'm recording this at the time I'm recording the other one. These are not going to be released on the same day because uh, reasons of A, my Wi-Fi's crap. B, I don't have time to upload stuff on the same day, and C, I am really stupid busy right now. So yeah, welcome to D&D Rants Part 2. Um, feel free to check out the other one. Um, yeah, feel free to check out the other one. That's gonna be posted hopefully soon, or you know what? Why am I saying that? That was gonna get posted before this one. I'm sorry. I'm being brain dead today. For anybody who hasn't already deciphered that. Okay. So, what is today's topic of D&D ranting shenanigans? Well, let's go with monsters because I don't really know what I'm gonna do today. So, okay. So, any dungeon master, like being a dungeon master is a lot of trial and error, like a lot of trial and error. Um, in the specifics that like it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Okay, like you think that your players are well enough off to handle something, and then they excuse me, they get taken out by something that like wouldn't have taken them out before. And you're like, wait a minute, you guys just survived XYZ, and yet this that is not as difficult, you got snuffed by. Um, and so it's this thing of like, oh no, did I mess up? Um, and sometimes it's hard to like gauge that kind of stuff. At least, or sometimes it's hard to gauge it accurately. Um, and like I understand that. Um, it can be an absolute nightmare. Like, okay, so like how do I know this? Well, I had a group that they survived an encounter with a homebrew boss that I had. Like and I had homebrewed it, so it was like, yeah, they'll be able to survive this just fine. Um and like keep in mind I had not homebrewed this to be very difficult. Like or well, it was to scale with their level. Now they beat it, they survived, right? Oh boy, did I make a mistake. Like I thought that I was like, okay, yeah, you guys did it. You beat this creature that I didn't think you were going to be able to beat. So let's move on. Um, moving on was I decided to throw a small group of zombies at them. And for anybody who knows what zombies do in D&D, they're not. They're just punching bags. Like unless you get surrounded. Like they don't have a very high AC. They don't have a lot of health. Like this shouldn't. And in my head, I was thinking, well, this shouldn't be a problem for a party of this level. Oh boy, was I wrong? I was so wrong. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. So, um, basically, what happened was the player, like, what happened in the essence was um, there were 7 zombies. I had scaled it to 4 players. Um, all players were level 4. And I was like, in my mind, it was gonna work out fine. It was like they had just survived a boss that was significantly harder. Um, it didn't go fine. Rolls that night were absolutely awful. Um, as in, I was rolling poorly, the players were rolling poorly, me being the DM. Um, and so it very quickly turned from, hey, this is just a bunch of like punching bags to, oh no, like very quickly. They got surrounded. The druid player got killed, got hit while he was down as well. Um, and the rogue was like they were surrounded, so there was really nowhere to move. Rogue was down. Rogue wasn't hitting anything. The fighter wasn't hitting anything. Um, Barbarian was doing okay. Like so, it turned very quickly from like, oh yeah, this will be easy to oh no, and so yeah, experience with monsters. It's been like a rough road, and oh boy, does it only get better from there. Like I have tons of stories for this kind of stuff. Next one was um, glass cannon. Like let's talk about glass cannon enemies in D&D really quickly. Like glass cannons, man, they can do a lot of damage, but like they tend to get like on a good night, things tend to go very poorly with them, as in they get snuffed the first few rounds, and nothing good ever comes from it. Uh, I've had experiences with that, one of which I mentioned in the last video, but oh boy, here we go again. I chose a wyvern as a boss for a level 5 party. There were 5 of them. Um, and oh boy, did it not go well. Like, well, no, it kind of went well. So, for reference, wyverns have 110 HP and a, like 12 or 13 AC. My brain can't remember which, but like it is like, and I didn't really read too much into it beforehand, and so I was like, okay, like this could be a good challenge. Um, okay, so wyverns, like both of their melee attacks do 2d6 plus 4. I think actually one of them does 2d6 plus 7, but I'm not looking at the book right now, so I couldn't really say. Um, but the other thing about, so wyverns, they have the tail stinger, right? Yeah. The thing about that is that that tail stinger attack does the 2d6 plus whatever number, 4 or 7, I don't remember. Um, does that much damage, and then plus 7d6 poison damage, which I had forgotten to take into account. So you can probably see where this is going. So what happened was the players managed to drain like half of this wyvern's HP before it even got a chance to do anything. Blame that on my rolling a 2 for initiative, um, and the rest of them rolling high on initiative. And it became very apparent that it's like, all right, if I want this to be any sort of challenge, I'm gonna have to up the ante on this a little bit. So basically, when it got to its turn, it took flight and decided to basically try and yeah, okay, so it flies up about 40 feet in the air, so it's out of range of a few things. I want to do this differently. So it's like, okay, we have that. Flies up 40 feet after making its attacks because I had it attack first instead of move. Any other DMs who watch this channel will probably kill me for that, but you know how it goes. Then what proceeded to happen was, okay, what was I doing? I don't remember what I wanted to do. This was like the only build project I had today. Okay. It's probably the same stairs I just but what kind of happened afterwards was, excusez-moi, freaking-moi. What was that? Okay. Nether ambience, spooky. Well, thanks. It sounded like a giant, like, lizard draconic thingy that was somewhere out there, probably planning to eat me. You know. Thank you, Mahjong. But yeah, so yeah, kind of what ended up happening was that on the Wyvern's turn, it tried to attack two members, hit one, failed to hit the other. Why? Because a 19 AC Paladin, that's why. Yeah, terrifying, I know. Then, second round comes, it's in the air, the Paladins can't really do anything. The Rogue, who uses a short bow, and much to my chagrin, is a Inquisitor, so he gets weird sneak attack bonuses. Basically, the Rogue and the Cleric are the only ones who can actually do anything. But I was so irreparably wrong at this point that things very quickly got out of hand. In the fact that so basically, Cleric is using I think it's like Ray of Sickness or something like that. I don't remember the name of the spell. I think it's a first level spell. I could be wrong. Basically, can't speak, but a wyvern survives long enough to make it to its second round being alive, and I rolled very poorly on initiative for that thing, like I said before. And that got out of hand in the way that it decided to go after one of the other players who was he was a monk. And this is, at least in my memory, the first time I had rolled a natural 20 as a DM in this campaign that we were running. And oh boy. Now, if anybody knows 5e rules for D&D, if anybody knows 5e rules, you will know that basically critical hit does double damage, and that double damage is terrifying. Now, imagine this, okay? Like, anybody who knows how monks are played knows that they're kind of glass cannons. They can deal out a lot of damage, but they're kind of fragile. So, this is kind of how this goes down. The monk gets... the wyvern goes after the monk and the cleric this time. Now, the result of this is the cleric gets hit with the bite attack, and wyverns have multi-attack, by the way. Cleric gets hit with the bite attack. The monk gets hit with the tail stinger. Now, the tail stinger was the attack I crit on. And let me tell you that critting with a wyvern is absolutely terrifying, in the sense that with double damage, like rolling double damage, it goes from it goes from 7d6 to 14d6. And like, dude, can I just say the sheer amount of dice that you need to roll that is absurd. Like 14 six-sided dice. I just used an online roller because I was like, ugh, dude. Yeah, scrap it. But yeah, 53 damage, ladies and gentlemen. Like, 53 damage. And that is, like, terrifying. Like, absolutely terrifying. Because I was in no way prepared for that to happen. Like, I was not prepared for that eventuality. Which, you know, duh, DM, you should have been prepared for that eventuality. I wasn't, okay? Like, have mercy on me. Like, okay, I wasn't prepared. And so, like, Jiminy Christmas. Needless to say, it died right after. But it was quite the experience. You should have seen the look on the dude. I'm pretty sure I traumatized the monk player, but like all's well that ends well. So, you know, it ended the way it ended. Everything's fine now. Things will like I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, for those of you who are wondering what this build is, I'm finishing out something I was working on with someone else. Who I never actually got to finish the build with. So I'm going back and doing that for him. So yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, and so I have learned that, man, like, dude, there are a lot of things. Like, monsters in D&D can be scary. And I think the one I think I've had the most luck with, during encounters has been the skeleton minotaur. Oh boy, that thing has been like it's been awesome for me. I tend to roll really well when I'm using it. Not sure why, but you know, things happen. Like that thing, like squishy characters, so characters who aren't using like large hit dice, beware because you get enough open space mixed in with that thing, and oh boy, are you in trouble. um, Not to say that, you know, with the party I was playing with, not to say that it worked well in that eventuality. Why? Because monks. Because monks have to be scary. Like, monks have to be scary. And there's just nothing, there's no other way around it. Monks have to be scary, and, like, yeah. Monks have to be scary. Clerics have to be just as scary. rogues for some reason don't scare me. Druids have to be the bane of my existence. Like, it's welcome to a day in the life of Jay the Aether Dragon. Like, great Scott, it's terrifying. It's terrifying and like not at all a nightmare sometimes. Like, not at all a nightmare sometimes. It's not. It's not. It's really not. Um, this build is supposed to be an arena or a part of an arena. I'm not going to show the whole arena because I can't take credit for that. Um, I'd have to show it with the other person who I was building it with. But it was a nice build. Just working on it, honestly. Never got to finish this part of it, so. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode of talking about random D&D occurrences in my existence. So anyway, hope y'all are having a good day. And stay safe, everybody. And yeah, we'll see you next time. So stay safe, keep partying, or doing whatever you're doing. I don't really know. I'm not you. So see you guys.